I would die laughing if one of us farted during our 10 seconds of silence. You know? Oh no. Hello and welcome to our new recurring 5-episode special, Loading the Catapult.
Yeah, that's right. Trevor and I have been keeping our ears to the ground, and every 5 episodes we're going to talk about some games that we've been looking at and are eager to try.
This isn't going to be our usual review format, as these games are either not released yet or still in early access, but we're excited about them, either from a concept or gameplay perspective, or the fact that they're pushing a new tech, or a studio formed from an existing studio we already like.
Right. So we're going to grab a few titles, and we're going to quickly talk about them. Maybe 10 minutes a title, and we're going to go from there. And, without further ado, Trevor, what are your titles for this episode?
All right, well, there are a lot of titles coming out this fall.
Fall's always a busy season.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of things falling into my lap this season. I can't wait for the Steam sale. That wasn't worth the laugh. So, a couple of the games that I kind of want to get on the radar and load into the Catapult is Core Keeper. So, Core Keeper is a game I've played a fair bit.
I've given it quite a bit of a go as well.
Yeah, so it's finally hitting 1.0 on August 27th. And I think that's kind of exciting. So I'd like to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was digging into future releases. And in October, I noticed that the DragonBall Sparkling Zero is coming out.
You're a big DragonBall boy.
I love my DragonBall. And I don't know a lot about Sparkling Zero, so I thought I would take the opportunity to kind of go over it this episode and kind of give my hot take on what I think about it.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
How about yourself?
Well, first off, I'm looking at Showa American Story, which looks like a beautiful send-up of like that sort of 80s vibe where like the at the time the Japanese economy was doing just outrageous, and there was like that subset of 80s films where it was like Japan has taken over America economically, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like a beautiful send up of those 80 movies and those zombie movies and those action movies of the time. And as much as we can talk about how bad the fashion was, there was a joy in the 80s that just I'd like to see us recapture. And this game looks like it's got that in spades.
I love it.
And the other one I'm looking at is going to be Worshippers of Cthulhu. Which actually has the demo out right now. And it's a city builder. It's got Cthulhu elements, and if you're a follower of the show, you know how much I love Cthulhu.
Last I checked, you've got yourself a little Cthulhu shrine at home. No.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, because the great sleeping one cannot be named or mentioned. So
yes, without waking him up and destroying the entirety of the earth.
Listen, when he awakes from the depths of Rylith, that is when we will all find our true purpose. But yeah, it's got like city building elements, cultist elements, like you gotta kind of balance those things, and I love that idea. Like, I am sold. So it looks like a very cool game, and I'm very interested in checking it out. And like I said, as of recording, the demo is available right now. So I haven't had a chance to play the demo yet, but I'm definitely going to be checking it out.
I like it, and I think I just have one question. Do you think that if Cthulhu, whatever, wakes up and invades our mortal realm, do you think you would be able to resist, or would you become a thrall?
I already have the shrine.
Oh yeah, so you're like full thrall. You're just like, make me a thrall.
No, I got the robes. I got the weird curvy dagger. I'm ready. Like, let's go.
Right.
Shabna la Cthulhu. Shabna Kharat.
Yeah, if you've been eating octopus or squid, Cthulhu's going to have some words with you.
Yeah, listen, we're all going to be consumed by the Great One. It's just a question of how long will he take enjoying the meal.
You know what would be really a really great horror movie, like horror movie comedy? Cthulhu actually like rises and is destroying the earth, and instead of Cthulhu like eating and absorbing the human race, that some people are like, wonder what that tastes like, and they actually eat Cthulhu and kill him.
There was a Simpsons episode about that.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, Simpsons already did
it. Freaking Simpsons, ruining our lives.
Homer, they went to like the New England village, Innsmouth, and there was like a food eating contest, and anyway, Homer challenged Cthulhu to it, and Cthulhu said, "If I win, I get to consume you," and Homer was like, "Okay," because Homer. And then Homer won, and he went, "Well, fair is fair," and then the next scene is him cooking and eating Cthulhu.
I mean, you know what? I mean, that sounds great. Yeah,
That sounds
very cabin in the woods. I love it.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, I think we'll kind of dig right in and take a look. I just wanted to kind of go through quickly like which games are coming out in this fall.
Yeah, there's a lot of titles.
Oh, there's a lot of titles.
Well, and it's fall. Like the fall winter season is when a lot of these titles, like we haven't talked about Star Wars Outlaws, and that's because I'm not excited about it, but people are very excited about it. And it's what, October?
Was it going to be another like Jedi Survivor,
No,
Dark Souls?
it's going to be more of an Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay, that could be fun.
Yeah. Only they're very. I haven't been following it too much, but they're working on. There's not a lot of level up systems. It's all about the lessons you learned on the job. So like completing the job gives you a skill.
Oh, okay.
Versus grinding, and then your weapon, because there's not really a big level up system. Your weapons and the upgrades you put into them are going to be big in terms of like your damage.
I like
discussion.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is interesting, to be sure. But, all apologies to George Lucas and my surprising family connection to him.
Oh?
Yeah, my uncle was OSHA for a oil firm here in Alberta. And he hired his security guy. And then his security guy is very good, not only at his job, but also at networking.
Okay, yeah.
Which is important, right? Like to make it in this world, you have to be good at both facets of your job.
Mm-hmm.
And he's equally good at both facets of this job. And then there was a open position for head of security for Skywalker Ranches, and he applied and he got the job.
Oh wow!
So like my one of my uncle's best friends is the head of security for Skywalker Ranches.
That's very cool.
There's a picture of my uncle next to the desk that George Lucas wrote the Star Wars scripts at.
Mm-hmm. That's really, really cool.
Pretty crazy. Anyway, that aside, and my apologies to George Lucas, but I'm Star Wars out, man. I
am too.
I can't.
I'm Star Wars out because they haven't. They are not producing anything with any meat on the bone.
The last good one was The Mandalorian, and that's because The Mandalorian wasn't a Star Wars movie. The Mandalorian was a spaghetti western.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is when Star Wars is at its best. It's when Star Wars is emulating. You know what? I am so sorry. I forgot Andor.
Yeah, Andor was. I got bored of Andor about halfway in, but I really enjoyed the production value and the story.
Yeah,
I will finish it at some point.
Yeah, Andor is a throwback to the old Cold War spy episodes, and that's when Star Wars is at its best, when you take stories from other things and you slam it into Star Wars.
Yeah, I think that there's so much meat and potatoes left in the lore that just are not being explored. They're like, we make blasters and pew-pews and lightsabers go crash, smack, crack, and it's like,
Well, and that was the biggest problem. My biggest problem with the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Was that we have all of this lore and backstory and accepted canon, and then they're like, nope, lol.
Yeah, no, lol, we're going to make up our own stuff.
Yeah, which, again, is fine, but...
Well, then we had Carrie-Anne Moss, and you're like,
I love
Carrie.
Hey,
cameo! Well, let's kill her in episode 1.
Yeah, right? You get a heavy hitter like Carrie-Anne Moss, and you kill her off in episode 1. At least have flashbacks throughout the series, because why was she killed? Why was she important? What? Instead, dead.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, we need to kill a Jedi to make a point in our plot and create a MacGuffin. And yeah, I don't know. I will watch all of Acolyte. I will give it a what for over the winter when I'm bored and I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, the winter months is when you catch up.
But guys, get some Star Wars fans together.
Well, that's why
write a script.
Filioni stuff is doing so well, and Filioni was the guy behind Rebels. He was the guy behind The Mandalorian. He was the guy behind the last couple episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, which are good episodes. And then I think he was also...
The Book of Boba Fett was good too, yeah.
Ahsoka,
I haven't given it a chance yet.
Ahsoka had like high points, low points for me. It was a very roller coaster ride. But the beauty of it was those high points, low points were all contained in a single episode.
Yeah.
So I didn't have like, oh, this episode sucked. I had, well, the first 30 minutes sucked, but the last 20 minutes, wow, right? Like that sort of.
Well, if Deadpool and Wolverine has taught us anything, it's that not all the time, but once in a while, you should figure out what the fans want and just give it to them. Just let the people who are spending the money on your merch and on your products and on your stuff, let them have something they want. Give them some meat and potatoes once in a while, right?
To that, I think that's, and we've talked about this in earlier episodes, but like I think the biggest problem with Star Wars can be the fans, because
totally.
When we did episode 1, sorry, my mistake. Episode 4, 5, 6. When we did episode 7, right? They were livid. It was like, this is just A New Hope again. Give us something new. So they did. They gave them episode 8, which was a radical departure.
But that's also because they changed writers and changed directors,
Yeah,
and you can't do that in a trilogy.
Well, they did that with the original trilogy.
I know,
Lucas did 1 and 3.
But nowadays, when we do that, we lose all cohesion in the storyline, all plot. They threw every plot point from the first movie completely out, created new plot points in the second movie, and then threw them all out in the third movie. Yeah. There's no consistency to story.
Yeah, and I guess to that point, even though
I enjoyed them,
even though George Lucas did not direct episode 2 or episode 4 because numbers. Yeah. But, and when I was younger, my favorite was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But looking back and revisiting the series, my favorite is The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't believe Lucas directed The Empire Strikes Back. No. He wrote it, just like he wrote all of them. And I think I
was heavily involved in it. Yeah.
And I think that cohesive story, that singular storyline was super important. But the direction of Empire Strikes Back was stellar.
The thing is,
felt like you were losing.
I want Lucas's 7, 8, 9 because by 1997 he'd already fleshed out 7, 8, 9 from a synopsis perspective. He didn't have full scripts.
Well, Timothy Zahn
exactly
wrote the books.
What he wanted. Yeah.
Like if you're a big Star Wars guy, you've read Timothy Zahn's trilogy.
Yeah.
Which is the
Luke, Jedi Academy, yada yada yada.
Yeah. And like the book series, they weren't all hits.
Yeah.
But they were good.
But yeah, so we're kind of Star Wars'd out. I'm also kind of Marveled out. I'm kind of Deadpooled out now. Like I'm just kind of I'm kind of out. Just kind of out. I want to play Satisfactory when it comes out 1.0 on September 10th, and I don't want to see anyone in the whole world for like 3 months while I build my super factory.
There you go, perfect. And look forward to us streaming the Satisfactory 1.0 release. We're very excited about it. Okay,
we're gonna do a no streaming episode where we're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
No streaming. I love it.
Right, no streaming.
No. If anything, we'll either try for the 2-hour speed run.
Yeah.
Or we're going to do a big 8-hour thing with breaks.
Oh yeah, we'll do something.
So anyway,
so
we got distracted.
Games coming out. We got August 2024 game releases. We just had Black Myth Wukong drop, which is RPG style. I haven't tried it, but I'm interested. Yeah. We've got Dustborn, Concord, which I know nothing about, so that's something to look into.
It's a hero-based shooter, very similar to Apex or Valorant.
Yeah, it's got an LGBTQ plus tag on it, so it might be interesting. It's also got a political tag on it. I don't know if
so does Overwatch.
It's so political. Yeah. We've got World of Warcraft: The War Within on August 26th. How many weeks am I going to lose you to on that?
None. I'm not a retail player.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll check it out. I won't check it out.
Oh, yeah, you're WoW Classic, right?
Yeah, I play Cataclysm Classic right now.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah. We've got Core Keeper 1.0, August 27th, which I'd like to delve a little bit into today. We've got Gory, Cuddly Carnage. Now, I have no idea what that is, but that sounds fun. I'm going to do some research on all of these over the next 5 episodes so that on the next episode we have some interesting things to talk about. Yeah. Visions of Mana, August 29th. Star Wars.
I love the Mana series. I think that's just a re-release or repackaging. Could be wrong.
But I mean, that's worth a try. The old Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
Tales. Star Wars Outlaws. We just talked ad nauseum about Star Wars because we both love Star Wars and we just want Star Wars to love us back.
Well, I think the way it went is I was always a Star Trek kid and I wanted Star Wars to be as good as Star Trek,
Yeah. Star Trek always had a lot of bangers, except for what was the worst episode of Star Trek ever?
There are no bad episodes.
Oh no. There is one episode that is the worst.
DS9, that stupid one where they got
Alamarain.
Yeah. You've advanced to Yellow 5 or Yellow 7.
1, 2, Alamarain. No, you know what? That episode needs to be struck from canon and deleted and never allowed on any streaming services.
Lower Decks did such a good parody of it.
Did they?
That like I've forgiven that DS9 episode for a lot because of that Lower Decks episode.
I am definitely jumping on to the Paramount Plus subscription or wherever I have to get Lower Decks for over the winter to just watch it in its entirety.
Lower Decks is so good. Have you not seen it?
No, because it's not on any of the streaming services I have. Yeah. So that's a miss. So September 2024, we've got Prison Architect 2, which I'm excited. I like Prison Architect.
I never played.
Yeah, it's like RimWorld, but you're managing a prison.
Oh.
It's kind of fun.
So it's like RimWorld.
It's like RimWorld. It's that kind of genre. The casting of Frank Stone, Age of Mythology Retold, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. That could be interesting.
Yeah, well, the Stalker series has always been what I fondly refer to as Slav jank.
Slav jank, yeah.
Yeah, and those are games coming from Slavic countries of origin that are perhaps not as polished.
Can we please start tagging stuff Slavic jank on the Steam store?
We could.
We need to get this. We need to get that going.
We'd be there. There's an existing movement for that. It's with another creator who is vastly more successful than us by the name of Civi11.
Oh yeah,
who I adore. I think he is hilarious.
Send me some links. Okay, I'll
send
check it
out.
But
yeah, he's why I know about the term of Slavjank.
I like it. We've also got Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, Wild Bastards, Funko Fusion, Demon School, which is probably an anime base game. I'll have to look at that. Phoenix Springs, Final Fantasy 16, September 17th.
You might lose me to that.
Yeah, I might lose myself to that too. It depends. I don't know what world is Final Fantasy 16 going to be in. Is it going to be tech or fantasy?
I really love when they do the low tech, like steampunk
stuff? Yeah. Like Final Fantasy 6.
God, Final Fantasy 6 is amazing.
Oh, Final Fantasy 6. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be more fantasy. Like it's kind of got more of that style. Still got big cities, like a Midgard style thing. Chocobos for fast travel.
Okay, let's see. It's going to be a twin continent. This isn't a game either of us are doing. So we should probably stop.
Yeah, but anyway, it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for it. I think anything Final Fantasy, I'm down. Then we got Throne and Liberty, Enotria, the last song, God of War Ragnarok, September 19th, the next in the God of War series. That could be fun. Frostpunk 2, which I didn't really get heavily into Frostpunk, but it was very good game mechanics.
Yeah, no, Frostpunk, problem with Frostpunk, for me at any rate, was I didn't get a lot of replayability out of it. Once I beat the main campaign, I was done.
Fair enough. Did you ever play Silent Hill?
Yeah, no.
So Silent Hill 2 remake comes October 8th, and I might look that in. I like the Silent Hill games and the remake. I might have to get into that.
Silent Hill 2 terrified me, but the one that got me the most, I think, was Silent Hill 3, The Room.
Okay, yeah. We've got Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred DLC, which, sorry, I'm not interested. If you play Diablo 4, I'm not putting any coverage on that anymore. I'm kind of done with Diablo. It's a dead IP, as far as I'm concerned.
Rough. My buddy and I, we're going to play 4. We're not going to play, like, we play 4 now, but we're not going to do it on release day. We might do it later.
Give me a call. I have Diablo 4.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Every season, we start up new characters, and we go hard for
a couple weeks,
2-3 weeks, just enough to start getting into like early late game, and then we just fall off. It stops being interesting.
Yeah, the grind just isn't fun anymore.
No, and like I love Diablo 3, the season, the grind, the mechanics, like absolutely amazing, and Diablo 3 and No Man's Sky for me are the two stories of like studio redemption. Yeah. Right? Because Diablo 3 on launch was...
Oh, it was dreadful. And then the auction house made it more dreadful. And then they nerfed all our gear, which made it more dreadful.
Yeah, and then I think it was season 2 or 3 where it saved it.
I kind of feel like a dummy for even buying Diablo 4 after what mess Diablo 3 was on launch. But
and Diablo 4 was a mess at launch.
Dude, I would go back and play Diablo 2. Huh? Anytime, anywhere, because the loot drops actually were rewarding.
The new season's out.
Yeah.
They do season ladders. So the new season ladder's out for Diablo 2. Me and my buddy were talking about it.
Diablo 2 is just fun. The loot system was much more rewarding.
My problem with Diablo 2 was the emphasis on elemental resistances. So you could build a
That's fair.
baller lightning sorcerer build.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have the one charm, the Sunder charm, which I will mention is not in base game, that was introduced.
Mm-hmm.
But if you built a baller lightning sorcerer and you came up against a thing that was immune to lightning, you're
toast. Yep, you're not soloing that.
You were done.
So then we've also got Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, which I'll be talking about today. That's October 11th. And I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I tend to end up not buying them on release, but I tend to end up buying them.
I'm currently staring at a display he has here of like the various forms of Son Goku.
I've got the Vegito, the Goku, the Young Goku, Super Saiyan 1 Goku. I've got Kid Goku riding the Flying Nimbus. I've got Roshi. I've got Dragon Ball GT Funko Pop Goku. I've got the Shenron Summoning Dragon figurine.
Yeah, and I think you got the 7 balls right.
And I have I have all 7 Dragon Balls right up there behind Roshi.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Dragon Ball will always be near and dear to my heart, even though it is trash. But it is trash that I cannot get enough of.
It's fun trash.
I love the idea of someone who's a fighter who is a derelict dad, and he's really a terrible parent, but at the same time he's always there to save the earth while also being kind of the guy responsible for almost having it be destroyed.
Good old Goku.
He's like the best anti-hero, because if it wasn't for his like desire to fight everybody, the earth would not continue to end up being in so much trouble all the time.
But at the same time, it's why his son grew up without a dad, and what's his name? Piccolo ended up raising this kid.
Yeah.
Gohan, you're gonna have to learn how to fight so that you can be better and stronger than your dad.
Yeah.
Piccolo. Love that voice actor.
I love Piccolo.
We'll talk about that today. Metaphor Refantasio. That sounds fun. I might just look into that for the name.
Yeah.
Forest Hills the last year. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which, I will not be playing Call of Duty anymore. I'm done with it.
I'm a firm believer in let the franchise die, guys.
You know what? All you people who love the shooters and the competitiveness of it.
Check out Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, Rainbow Six has always been better.
Like if you're a shooter guy, check out Rainbow Six Siege. It is so cool.
But I won't yuck on your yum. So if you enjoy Call of Duty Black Ops 6, that's for you. We probably won't cover it, but
no.
Life is Strange Double Exposure. I've loved the Life is Strange series, so I'll be playing that for sure.
It was such a cool exercise in storytelling.
And then one that I am definitely covering on this podcast. Dragon Age the Veilguard, October 21st or 31st.
We should do tandem stream on that one. Like you play your game, I'll play my game, and we'll
we should
we'll compare.
Dragon Age is one I'm going to pay full price for and buy it. Dragon Age and Dragon Age Origins I loved.
Listen, BioWare has a lot of love from me. And that continued even during the dark EA days. Like I own Anthem. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you're sold, eh?
I own Anthem. I own Andromeda. And I'm sad that Andromeda didn't get the 2 or 3 DLCs that were planned.
You know, I never actually tried Andromeda.
You didn't.
No, Dad.
It's okay.
I mean, I still have to do my Mass Effect 2 playthrough. Yeah, I haven't. I played it for maybe 4 or 5 hours, and I just didn't finish it. And it's got, I have to say this, in the short amount of time I played it, it has probably the single best RPG style shooter mechanics of any game I've ever played.
Listen, Mass Effect, like I've played all of them, and I own, like we've talked about this, I own the Mass Effect trilogy as a whole on so many different platforms.
Yeah.
Like I own it on the 360, I own it on the PS4, I own it on the PS3, I own it on
in Russia, it owns you.
It does. I own it on the EA Games storefront. I own it on the Steam storefront.
Yeah. Take my money.
I own it too many times.
I love that. I love that for you.
I don't need to own it this many times, but I've bought it every time, and I don't feel bad about that. But Mass Effect was an amazing foray. Mass Effect 2, best in the series.
I promise you I will play Mass Effect 2 over the Christmas holiday this year.
Don't make promises you don't intend to keep.
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it.
forever.
Can I load from my last save file? I won't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I wouldn't, but
I
you
know.
could.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry,
so,
we got distracted again.
Yeah, we're good at that. So what is your first game that you're loading into the Catapult?
I'm going to load up Showa American Story.
How do I spell that?
Showa, as in Showa, Japan, SHOWA.
Okay.
American, as in American.
Yeah.
And Story, as in story.
Okay, show American Story. I love it.
Done.
All right. Why don't and what's the second one you're gonna load?
Worshippers of Cthulhu.
Worshippers of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't spell Showa, but I can spell Cthulhu.
That's probably more my fault than anything.
Well, why don't we start off with you with Show American Story? Why don't you give us a quick rundown?
We're gonna roll the dice, and then
go for it.
I could go first. That's fine too.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm happy to have you go first.
All right. Hold on. Let me just pull up a few things here. Okay.
We can do whatever you want.
Oh my.
We can do whatever you like.
Oh my. No.
Oh my.
Oh my. Shoutouts to George Takei. You're just
It's okay to be Takei.
Come on now.
Love Takei.
Oh, sorry. I have said Takai my entire life. It's Takei, isn't it?
Yeah, he had an entire campaign where he was saying how it's okay to be Takei.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Takei. I apologize. I don't know. Sorry.
I saw him at the symphony one time. He was hosting the symphony, and it was
Really?
a blast. It was a real blast. I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right, I got my info up. So, Showa American Story.
Yeah.
It's right off the developer's page. It's a brand new RPG. That's a love letter to the 80s pop culture with a strong B movie sort of influence. And anyone who spent any time with me knows I have a deep and abiding love for 80s pop culture and B movies.
I love it.
So many B movies. I own so many bad movies.
It's gonna be movies.
It's gotta be B. That might have been too close to the actual thing. We might get in trouble. So let's look at the Showa American Story. So just right off the Steam page, it's Showa 66. Japan has bought out most of the United States with its economic power, and a surge of Japanese immigration has firmly planted Japanese culture within the American continent. The two cultures are rapidly amalgamated, and although conflicts are inevitable, citizens gradually adapt to a life never imagined as time goes by. However, a mysterious catastrophic incident changes the world drastically. The social order is long gone, an unknown amount of time passes, and a teenage girl mysteriously revives from the dead, only to find a brand new, wild, post-apocalyptic world with zombies, monsters, and human survivors of different backgrounds and beliefs. What happened to me and the whole world? With many questions in her mind and trying to find answers, Choco, our heroine, embarks on an adventurous journey across the United States that will change her forever. So just looking at it, it looks very familiar sort of combat if you ever played like a action RPG shooter or slasher. It looks a lot simpler than an Elden Ring.
Well, I was looking at the developer. Which is
Netcom Entertainment.
Yeah, and so they only have one other game on Steam.
Yeah, Dying Reborn, looks like sort of a classic. This is something I've noticed about the Japanese developers is like they all have a first person horror game.
Yeah.
Usually done in
the Japanese love their horror.
They are,
and they're so good at it.
We need to talk to them. Like, something's up, guys. You have toilet monsters. Toilet monsters! What culture develops toilet monsters?
Hi. Pokemono.
Just what's happening, guys?
I love it.
But yeah, so as a studio, they haven't done anything that I'm like, what's happening? But I am a absolute sucker for the Yakuza series.
Yeah.
And this gives me strong Yakuza vibes.
See, I bought the Yakuza game. I haven't played it yet because I just don't have time. But it's on my list. So
I'm mad at you.
So what is it about Showa that's getting you kind of excited?
Well, it's got a lot of the checks for me. It's you know, I in my youth I was a bit of a weeb, and while I have grown out of it, I still have a little bit of that love, you know. So that idea of sort of that Japanese culture and the American culture amalgamated. I don't know if you've seen Big Hero 6.
Oh yeah, Big Hero 6 is one of my favorite all-time animated movies.
Yeah, but like that whole idea, just I dig it. So right away the concept popped out on me. Like Days Gone By is one of my favorite zombie survival games out there. 7 Days to Die. I love playing. So all of these things are working for me. Yeah. And then you get this, and like your character is a stunt woman.
Oh, okay.
So your the whole storyline is Choco, your character. She's a stunt woman, and she and her sister have come to what is now called Neo Yokohama, but it was Hollywood.
Oh,
and they're both in the industry, so they're auditioning for a part in this action movie that's coming up. And then when she gets to the audition, she is assassinated and she's dumped out in the wild, right? And then suddenly, very sort of like altered beast, she rises from her grave. But a lot of time has gone by, right? And there's zombies and people helping people and hurting people, people being people. There's infighting, and she's here trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
That's
so kind of cool.
So she's there. It's kind of a road trip movie, and she's trying to find her sister while battling all of these forces, and yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah. And just looking at the combat, it's going to be very visceral. I don't know if you ever played Sifu.
I did not.
Okay, well, it's got a lot of that flowy, like
the sword combat. The really
sword
cool
combat. There's hand-to-hand combat. There's gun combat.
Yeah.
And I love that sort of like flow, that movement, and more importantly, I love feeling like you're a badass.
Yeah.
Like, and this is something that I disliked about the Elden Ring series, and what I really dislike about Diablo 4 is that I play video games for the power fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Yeah. I don't play video games to be reminded that I'm an incompetent putz.
I don't want to be reminded that I'm a meek, squishy human.
I know that. Please stop showing me myself in the mirror. I want to feel like a badass.
I echo your sentiment.
And this feel like, just looking at the combat and how streamlined and smart it looks, like I'm down. And it's got some cool like exploration elements, and just looking here, there's going to be a lot of exploration, and I love that filled world and exploring the world. And your character, her home base is an RV.
Yeah, that's really cool.
How cool is that? Right?
I noticed they're showing some clips here on the Steam page where they've got like all these 80s movie posters, and Yakuza posters.
You're seeing like that English or that American and Japanese merging. So like you got classic like anime sort of ideas.
Yeah, that anime poster is kind of like Slayer's Gorgeous meets Gun Gals or something like that. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
It looks really cool, and I really think the developers give a shit.
Yeah.
Which is so important. Like, you have to care about the game you're doing. And looking at the actual publisher, 2P Games, like, it looks like they're pretty good at getting a lot of different developers and doing, like, we care about this game. Like, they have I don't know if you ever played the Princess Maker series, but they've published a Princess Maker-like game.
Okay.
They got a few dating simulators. They got some Vampire Survivor games.
Because Princess Maker was kind of like a
Princess Maker. It was
like an RPG, but like I don't know, it was kind of back in the style of like an RPG Maker kind of thing.
Yeah, the
kind of
Princess
top-down.
Maker games were as weird as you wanted them to be.
Yeah,
Like your role was the father to this girl,
Okay.
and you could train her up in various ways, right?
Mm.
And you could make her a priestess. You can make her a barfly. Like you kind of decided. Princess Maker 5, I think, is the latest, and it's more of a modern day set.
Yeah, I haven't actually played any of the Princess Makers, but I've seen them for years on different. Platforms.
I think I played Princess Maker 2, but like I was never really into the Princess Maker series. It just struck me because there isn't a lot of those raise your daughter sims out there. So yeah, Princess Maker.
It's like a mix between Final Fantasy and like
a visual novel.
A visual novel. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool.
Okay, distracted again. But yeah, no, everything about Showa looks like it's just gonna get me, right?
Yeah.
It's like when I saw the combat, it looked as smooth as. Do you remember the first time you played Arkham Asylum?
Yeah, I do.
You remember that combat, just how fluid and dynamic Batman was.
Arkham Asylum was the first game for me that actually felt like a Batman game.
Yeah, right? So just I'm seeing echoes of that combat here, and like again, you look overpowered. You look like you are just a bad ass. And that's what I'm here for in video games. Like I said, I don't want to be reminded I'm a putz. I want to be a competent, sword-wielding, badass girl. Well, it doesn't have to be a badass girl, but I want to be a competent, sword-wielding badass.
Yeah. Well, and looking at the game, like...
and also they got the Statue of Liberty in like a kimono, which is hilarious.
It is so beautiful, so beautiful.
So yeah, that's Showa American Story coming out on Steam. They haven't gotten a release date yet, but Netcom Entertainment.
Yeah, they haven't even published their release date yet, but it's got to be coming soon because I've been hearing more and more and more about it every week.
Yeah, and they've got a really good. Their developers seem to be very active on their homepage. Like merchandise is now available. They've had interviews with IGN Japan. They've had focus group sessions, developer Q&As. Like they're this is a game they want to make, and I think this could be the game that puts their studio on the map.
It was originally slated for November 2024 release date. It looks like.
Yeah.
So that well, I mean, if I had to say if they haven't announced that yet, it's probably more like January or March.
I'm thinking late quarter 1 is what I'm thinking.
All right. Yeah.
And the infamous I forget the developer or Nintendo president's name, but a good game delayed is a good game.
Yeah.
A bad game is a bad game forever.
I agree. This looks beautiful. I mean, the detail, the artwork, the attention to detail, the environmental attention to detail.
Yeah.
Little things like just like newspaper, posters, boards.
This is a world that they built.
It looks like a beautiful little alternate version of the USA. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to give it a try. And I just saw a male character wearing a bikini, so that should be interesting. Sounds like there's gonna be a lot of humor, lots of Japanese culture.
No, I'm looking at because there's her in her like gym outfits, like her 80s gym shorts and tank top.
Yeah.
And then there's also her in like what I'm assuming are road leathers.
Yeah.
So like I'm curious if there's because one of my favorite things in any game is I see the equipment I put on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like I put on a robe. I'm wearing a robe, right?
Yeah.
My character reflects what they're wearing. So I don't know if they're going to go with that because that is a degree of customization and modeling that perhaps
I think that's expected out of games of this caliber these days.
It's certainly one of those things like you gotta. But, at the same breath, if there's just like your road outfit and your home outfit, that'd be fine too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, and that was Showa American Story, which again is still on its like shall we say to be announced stage, but it looks really, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited for you, and I'm also excited.
And on that note, sir, let's talk about your next game on the Catapult.
Yeah, so for me, kind of want to talk about Core Keeper. I played Core Keeper with a buddy of mine for a couple of months. We would get connected on Sundays and play it, and it's a fun little game. It's kind of build your own little your own little protected area in these caves, and you're kind of spelunking, and it's technically a dungeon crawler. The idea is to, as their description, explore an endless cavern of creatures, relics, and resources in a mining sandbox adventure. And it is multiplayer, which is great. Kind of gives you that that feeling of like a multiplayer Stardew Valley-esque kind of feeling to it. And you mine, you build, you fight, you craft, you farm, and you find these ancient cores. You defeat the bosses and you get these ancient cores, and you slowly kind of expand further out and further out into the map, where it gets more and more and more dangerous, because as is a dungeon crawler. One of the things I love about this game is the fact that it is fun to play. It's challenging. It's not super easy, especially if you are playing on harder modes. The fact that it's multiplayer, up to 8 players, is a huge joy. The graphics of the game are very like basic pixel kind of adventure game, but it is a joy to play. Dungeon crawlers are one of my favorite genres. Being able to play a dungeon crawler with friends, where there's a progression system, and the reason I like games like Satisfactory and games like Factorio is the progression system. So I find Core Keeper's got a really good progression system of getting better tech, getting better weapons, getting better gear, getting better base items and better things for your base. Being able to, I believe, it's been a long time since I've played it, but like the recipes and the different things that you can make, it becomes kind of better and better and better as you go.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to flesh out this amazing little base and explore out, and there's like harder materials that you can't dig past until you beat a specific boss and get a specific item to be able to build better weapons, or you've got to cross a cavern. You've got to build a bridge across a cavern in order to get across. As far as dungeon crawler goes, it's very engaging. It's very fun. There's always something to do. It doesn't feel tedious. It doesn't feel like a grind, and it is a little grindy, but it doesn't feel like a grind. There's a boss that like burrows through like tunnels through the rock, and the boss is really hard to kill, at least when you first get started. But it tunnels through the rock, and it's like this speeding train. And if you're in its way when it comes, you're dead.
Yeah, I remember that boss fight.
Yep.
Yeah, the only way to win is by placing all those stupid little spike traps.
Yeah.
Hey.
So like you really can't just, if you accidentally are standing there and you feel this rumble, and the first time you run into this boss, it's like, what is this? Why is my screen shaking? Why is it rumbling? Why am I hearing these sounds? And then you're just roadkill. And so just some of those elements of the game where like, oh, the first encounter you have with these things, you're not going to be prepared, and you're going to have to actually think a little bit and plan a little bit and strategize a little bit in order to overcome the boss. And that's going to be, you can do it, you can solo it for sure, but it's a lot more fun to do with multiple people to coordinate on these boss battles. And you're a WoW guy.
Big, yeah.
When you've done big raids and stuff, it's a huge amount of fun with multiple people.
Oh yeah, love that.
One of the things that I find is,
in fact, I'm I only raid.
Yeah. Like, what's the point of adventuring if you're not raiding or you're not grouped up?
I only engage in the single player content to get to the point where I can start doing dungeons, and then I'm predominantly only in dungeons till I get early raid gear, and then you're raiding.
Yeah, and so like for me, this game kind of captures that really well, where playing it in a group is important, and I think you can definitely play it by yourself. Don't hold back to try to solo the game. But one of the things I find with a lot of single player games that's severely lacking is the ability to do multiplayer. There are a ton of single player games like Skyrim, which had they released Skyrim with the ability to adventure with your friends, Skyrim would have sold 3 to 4 times more copies.
Oh,
than it
easily.
Did. Easily.
Because you would have been, hey buddy, pick it up.
Yeah.
Then we can play together.
And the mistake they made with Elder Scrolls is they're like, let's make an MMORPG. And I'm like, no. You guys aren't understanding what we actually want. We don't want an MMORPG. Some people love their MMOs, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the gamer like myself, I just want to be able to play with my friends. Satisfactory. The fact that I can invite a friend and play. Factorio. I can invite a friend and play. This is what makes a game for me. So a dungeon crawler game like Core Keeper, where it's like, hey, I've played 14.1 hours. I haven't played it since 2022, but that's a game where I could say, hey, Aaron, do you want to, for the next 2 months over winter, if we got the time, let's do a Core Keeper playthrough.
Yeah.
You can play for like 2, 3, 4 hours at a time and put it away and come back to it anytime.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Core Keeper strengths really are. And the 1.0, finally launching it on 1.0 and saying, hey, we're done. It's not early access anymore.
It's here.
That's really awesome. Now, Core Keeper is free to play at the moment. It ends in 2 days because it's going 1.0.
Yeah. Just get it now.
But it's been free to play for a while, and that's so that people can kind of give it a try. And it is almost like that Terraria feel, kind of like that Stardew Valley feel, with more of an emphasis on the dungeon crawler, the fighting the mobs, and gathering goods, you know?
I've played quite a bit of Core Keeper as well with my friends. And I think what I hope they've addressed on the 1.0 is that balance, because you could go into an area, like there's the opening act, which are those 3 bosses you're discussing, and then there's the big 4 biomes outside of that.
Oh, the biomes get challenging.
Right? And so like what me and my buddy discovered is if you go into biome 1 and you unlock the best weapon, right? You unlock I think it's the red, the crimson stone or whatever in biome 1. And then you don't even bother doing anything in biome 1. You go directly to biome 2 and unlock that ore, whatever biome 2's ore was.
Yeah.
And then you make the armor and weapons from biome 2.
Yeah.
You could go back to biome 1 and just roll it.
Oh, yeah.
But if you have biome 2 equipment, biome 2 is still difficult.
Yeah.
Right? So it became to the point where it just like grind out the equipment from the biome up.
Yeah.
And then go back to the biome and just do it. And that became very tedious to us.
I know the 3rd biome was like incredibly scaled up.
Yeah, the desert, right?
Yeah, and it's like you're even with your like tier 2 gear.
Yeah.
It
was
you're struggling.
Yeah.
Like you're struggling.
And
I felt though, like for me, I enjoy that challenge.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
No, there is something to be said about a good challenge.
Yeah, but it has to be accessible for people who aren't hardcore gamers. And I think you can adjust the difficulty in the game.
I think you can as well.
Yeah, and I think so. Like you can put it on easier difficulty and have a better time in the future biomes. But my friend and I were playing on 1 level harder than normal.
Oh, okay.
And I found that was frustrating a little bit, but also more rewarding. But again, I think that balancing your game is very important.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not saying that to deflate. I really did enjoy a lot of the Core Keeper experience. So I hope in the 1.0 they addressed that and made it a little more engaging and a little more accessible.
Yeah, and I hope they added more like furniture and more home items and base items and more decorating your home.
We did nothing for base. Like we literally slapped down the tables, and then we eventually, when you unlock the auto driller, I want faster conveyor belts. There you go. Now I know what I want. Because we would have the conveyor belt set up to haul the, whatever the ore was from that, and have it auto smelt and be put into chests for us. But the process was ridiculously.
Well, the nice thing is there's some of the things that some of the reviewers say where, they've been constantly making quality of life improvements throughout the life cycle of early access. They've been listening to their community and making changes and adjustments for what the fans want.
I cannot wait.
And they've been adding new bosses and new biomes with every update they've been doing. If not every update, like every big update for sure.
Yeah.
And and it's a lot of fun. So I think that this game in 1.0 is going to be totally worth a revisit, and I'm going to probably suggest my Sunday night gaming sessions from 6 to 9 p.m. I'm going to probably suggest that that become the game of choice and kind of open it up to people who want to join and play, update players.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It's a good time. Yeah.
It's a good time.
So yeah, Core Keeper 1.0 is coming out, and I think it comes out in 2 days, October 27th, I think. This
Very
comes
cool.
to 1.0. And if you already own it,
you already own it.
You get the free upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do wish that some of these game companies had a place for me to send them some extra bucks. Just because there are some of these indie developers, and I've seen this like
buy the game for a friend.
Exactly. Yeah, I would love to. I think that
I mean, I already own it, but yeah.
I think that there's this idea floating around TikTok of like tip your developer, and I'm like, I don't want to go that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely gift multiple copies to other people. I've gifted a couple different people. I tend to give Steam gift cards to people on a regular basis to kind of give them an opportunity to buy games.
That's a nice thing to
Yeah, I had a friend in Hungary that I sent a gift card to one
Hungary.
Christmas. Yeah, just to be like, hey, buy yourself some games. You know,
Yeah,
I think
fair.
it's a good time. I think it's a great time. Core Keeper, can't recommend it enough. I am super excited for 1.0.
That is awesome. And I mean, this is another small indie studio that really cares about the game. Like, this is the game they wanted to make. They made this game.
That they did.
Yeah.
So, moving on to something a little darker down the dungeon.
Boom, 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 boom.
Worshippers of Cthulhu.
Worshippers of Cthulhu. Yeah, so that's my second game we're going to be talking about today. It's called Worshippers of Cthulhu. It is a city builder game in the vein of like Against the Storm, Manor Lords.
It's a colony sim sandbox.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. It's like the Caesar Threes or the Pharaohs or what else? What other city builder games did? Because we just went through a city builder game, didn't we? You did Manor Lords.
Yeah, dude, I'm adding this to my wish list.
Yeah.
A world of Cthulhu.
Yeah,
building-
yeah.
What?
And the whole premise is you're the leader of this town, and you build it up, and your goal is to awaken Cthulhu. And not this is right off the Steam page. It's like you're not here to destroy the world. You're here to rebirth it. You know, the inevitable evolution that awaits us all. Humanity is insignificant, pitiful in its smallness. Our existence is a fleeting whisper in the cosmic winds, and only by awakening Cthulhu can we transcend our feeble existence. In one profound act, you can shake the foundation. Awaken Cthulhu, for in his awakening lies the catalyst for a cascading effect that will reshape the cosmos and a new order shall emerge. So, like, it looks really cool. Like, you got, like, all the classic city builder elements. You gotta have food for your people. You gotta have entertainment for your people. You gotta have these things for your people. But you also have a eldritch horror in the waters that you occasionally have to feed human souls. So, gotta keep your population up. Because little Squirmy's hungry, and you gotta feed little Squirmy. Like, it looks so cool, and I love that balancing. Like, one of my favorite city builders, early 2000s was the Age of Mythology games.
Beautiful games.
Right? And in those games, you had the gods and demigods literally walking around your city, and they would get little buffs, but they would also demand better things, like you had to supply them with X amount of food every year or whatever. So like this seems like an evolution of that, and it looks really, really cool. The developer is a company called Crazy Goat Games, and they've done some interesting stuff in quite a few places. Their biggest game is called Republic of Pirates, which is predominantly positive on Steam, and it looks like a very sort of another sort of city builder game, more in line with Tropico.
Yeah.
They also
I hated Tropico.
Really?
I did not enjoy Tropico. I thought it was cool because it's like, be a dictator. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be a dictator.
Yeah. Oh, you got the demo installed.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm looking at you doing it right now.
Yeah, dude, as soon as I saw that this is a Cthulhu town colony simulator.
Years old.
I'm sold, man. SimCity Cthulhu.
You know what? While you're doing this, check out Against the Storm.
Against the Storm. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah.
But yeah, so this company seems to be making weird, quirky, niche games that they are 100% dedicated to. And I love that. A game I play again and again and again, and that I recommend to everyone, even though it's a weird game, it's Cultist Simulator.
The simulator?
Cultist Simulator.
Oh yeah, I love Cultist Simulator.
Right?
I'm addicted to
it. Not the same company at all. But that dedication to a very niche, weird game and concept, I love. And I love that these are getting rewarded. The publisher Creativo, again, they're They are very much dedicated to that idea. Like they're bringing out a lot of weird sort of games dedicated to their audience. And they have one I was looking at that I almost died. It's called Rattenreich. Rattenreich, and it's a retelling of like, hold on, let's look at it. In a fictional world torn apart by constant warfare, societies of rats, mice, and cockroaches and lizards, relentlessly pursue the interests of the nation. It's got like like a stage 3 furry. I don't know if you guys know the anthro scale.
The anthro scale. What's the name of this?
It's a stage 4. It's a stage 4 furry. No, it's a stage 3.
What is it called?
It's called Rattenreich.
Rattenreich?
Yeah.
I saw it. Rattenreich. Okay.
Yeah. Got a very stage 3, stage 4 anthro rat girl as like their
Oh my gosh.
as their thing.
It's
going
like
on.
Company of Heroes meets furries.
Yeah, no, they're committed, and like I love that idea. Like I'm probably never gonna pick up this game, but this publisher is dedicated to these very weird niche titles, and I love that. I can't award that enough. I want these to succeed, and I want more developers to be out there being like, I don't want to make a Grand Theft Auto. You know what I want to make? I want to make you're a corner store owner.
Yeah.
Set.
Yeah.
In a world like Grand Theft Auto. So you got to protect your little corner store. People are going to come in, they're going to rob you. How are you going to protect
Have
yourself?
you played Gas Station Simulator?
No.
Yeah, you basically run a convenience store at a gas
There you
station.
go. I've
Yeah.
played part-time worker.
Gas Station Simulator is kind of fun. It's actually hard. You have to like
Yeah,
empty the
I believe
trash.
it.
You've got to actually scan the items on the register for them and check them out.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a
I
good time.
love these niche little games, and I think that there's more joy in these games than there are in any of the big AAA releases. So yeah, no, I'm sold on the entire idea of Worshippers of Cthulhu. I love city builders. I love cultist simulators. And it looks like it's got really well-regulated systems and concepts. And there's nothing new in a city builder. Like the formula was laid down in like the first couple of Caesar games.
Yeah, and SimCity
And
started it all out.
SimCity, like,
Yeah.
but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And as long as you're taking that tried and true formula, which is a very enjoyable formula, and then like adding little twists and little spices to it, I think that is go time, So yeah, that's my second game I'm loading the Catapult, Worshippers of Cthulhu, which is right now you can get the demo for it, and right now is time of recording, which is August 23rd. And then the release date is on the 21st of October.
Yeah, only 8 weeks from today's recording.
Yeah, approximately 8 weeks from today's recording. So
It looks pretty cool.
It looks cool.
So, I'm not a patient person when it comes to my games and tutorials. So I ran the demo really quickly. It looks good. It gets you in where you need to get going. You build your lumber yard and you start getting wood. I did that all in just the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it looks like a city builder. Feels like a city builder. My hope is that it's got a lot of comedic elements. The thing that I love in games is when there's comedy. So if we're going to be doing like, sacrificing people to the pit.
Oh, there's got to be
Right?
like the Wilhelm scream.
The Wilhelm scream.
Gotta have the Wilhelm.
Gotta have it. Yeah. Ah!
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. So yeah, I'm excited. It looks fun. I think I'll play through the demo and see what it looks like. But I love.
I'm playing that. Well, not tonight, but I'm playing that as soon as I can. Yeah.
But it looks like it's got a lot of the Lovecraftian kind of elements. So I saw a little clip that showed like having to accept a boon. So you have like some curse or something, some evil thing that will overcome your town and cause you to have more villagers dying of scurvy or some kind of,
But you also get.
But you also get some benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, blood worship gives you plus 10 resources to waking up Cthulhu or something. Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting.
Nothing's free.
The thing is, I've always been on the hunt for like an ultimate Cthulhu game where I feel like, yes, I love the twisted side, the cult side of it.
Did
the
you
humor.
do Cult of the Lamb at all?
I loved Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's it's like, yeah, but I've played a lot of Cthulhu games and I haven't found one that really pushes all the buttons. Like, I mean, I love my niche game genres.
Yeah.
So like, where's my Cthulhu Satisfactory, or my Cthulhu Factorio, or my like I want to have like people strapped to my conveyor belt going to their butcher that's gonna be like we're setting them off to Cthulhu. Like if we're gonna do Cthulhu, let's do it, but let's make it funny. Let's make it humorous.
Fill more barrels, make more friends.
Yeah, fill some barrels. I don't know. I think I'm always up for a new Cthulhu game. What was the Eldritch horror movie that came out a few years ago, which they couldn't see them; they were all invisible.
The Bird Box?
The Bird Box,
yes. With Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bird Box. I loved Bird Box because they kind of insinuated that these were like the Cthulhu kind of with the thralls and all this kind of thing.
Or was it? Because that's the one where they have to blindfold themselves, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you saw them, you went mad and became a thrall.
Yeah.
And I think so that the whole movie, I was just like, Cthulhu. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And the movie was frustrating to watch at times, but I was like, yes, this is the kind of Cthulhu content I've been looking for. But anyway, that's just me. Did you watch Bird Box?
No, I haven't watched Bird Box. I'm reading the plot synopsis real quick. It looks good.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
So yeah.
Anyway.
This looks fun.
That looks
fun,
like
man.
Worshippers of Human. Like it ticks off a lot of boxes for me. And I'm always down for a good city builder. Like, always.
I just hope it's got some fun new, it's obviously going to have some interesting, different mechanics than other city builders. But I find with city builders, they can get very monotonous. And as long as they have introduced some game mechanics to keep it interesting and give you like a reason for the monotony, then it could be a lot of fun. And it's got tentacles and Cthulhu. I'm in. I love it. So are you going to be buying this on launch day? Or
well, maybe not on launch. We'll see how the demo goes.
I like it. Yeah, we got to play the demo.
As if I love the demo, it's a launch game title for sure. If I have some sticky issues with the demo, it'll be give it a month for the bugs,
Well, Worshippers for Cthulhu. Check it out. Crazy girl. Blah! Yeah. So my next game up is DragonBall Sparkling Zero.
Talk to me, Chief.
Okay, so anytime I see Dragon Ball, I'm like, okay, cool. What is this going to be like? This is coming from, it's going to be published by Bandai. I mean, I think Bandai owns all the rights to Dragon Ball in perpetuity. So pretty much anything Dragon Ball's got Bandai's name on it. It looks like it's going to be an action 3D fighter. So it looks kind of like just a purely a fighter game. Now I'm a big fan of the Dragon Ball Kakarot game. I have played through that for countless hours. I love reliving the Dragon Ball story. So this looks like it's going to be a very fun and engaging fighter game. Probably one you're going to need to use a controller with. They've basically said, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero.
Pardon me. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Right? Sparkling Zero takes the legendary gameplay of the Budokai Tenshinkai series and raises it to whole new levels. Make yours the destructive power of the strongest fighters ever to appear in Dragon Ball.
So yeah, I think that the original Dragon Ball Budokai and the Tenkaichi.
Oh god, I already know the modding community is going to get horny with this game.
Oh yeah. But Dragon Ball Ultimate Battle 22 for the old PlayStation, things like that, right? Dragon Ball fighting games have always been cool. I've played Ultimate Battle 22. I played what was the name of the game? Oh. It was like It was one of the first 3D Dragon Ball fighting games. Dragon Ball fighting games. And it was only available in Japan.
There was one I briefly played. It was Dragon Ball Universe or something.
There was Dragon Ball Budokai, which I played. I think that was on the I didn't get into the fighting games until PlayStation. And that was because they weren't really released in North America. You could only play them.
Despite the fact that they were on YTV.
Yeah, you could only play these games doing the old CD swap. on the PlayStation 1, which I got really, really good at to play games like Initial D and the Dragon Ball games. And I would just, find or get my hands on Japanese PlayStation
For those
games.
of you who don't know what the CD swap was, you could start a game that was not region locked.
Yes.
And then quickly, and I mean quickly,
I got
swap
so
out
good.
your game with the region locked game.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation would start playing that one.
Yeah, on the original PlayStation 1, you would wait until the PlayStation logo loads. That passes the
because
check
now you're
for
past
the game.
the region.
You're past the region lock. Then the laser goes zit, zit, zit. That's when you pull the disc out and put in the other disc. And you have to do it so quickly, and then it loads the game.
Like Indiana Jones quick here.
Oh, yeah,
talking
faster than Indiana Jones. Yeah, it took me probably a good week to get good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you could play any Japanese game. So there was Dragon Ball Ultimate Battle 22 I had played.
Didn't you play Kakarot as well?
Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension. That was the one I was looking at. I played Hyper Dimension. Kakarot is like an RPG. So you're actually playing through the story elements. You still have a fighter kind of element to it, but you're playing through the story. There was actually a Dragon Ball RPG game on the Super Nintendo that I really thoroughly loved. It was only ever in Japanese. And it was like almost card based. So you had certain, almost deck buildery. Okay. So you had certain cards that you could play and align. It was really hard to figure out how to play, but I actually managed to beat the game. And you have to like power up your Goku and get your Senzu beans and then go fight Frieza. And then after the Frieza saga, it's over. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. Oh yes, I played lots of Final Bout. So yeah, I mean, I would say I'm not that into the fighter games. I definitely played Budokai. I think I still have that on my stack of games over on the shelf is Budokai or Budokai 2.
It's there somewhere. Yeah.
And so I have jumped into the foray of fighting games with Dragon Ball before. And these are generally reskins. So you have like your Naruto Shippuden battle games and fighting games. These are usually just like reskinned games where they're like, we'll take the game we did with Naruto and just put Dragon Ball skins on it.
Yeah, reskin it with Dragon Ball.
Re-release it and boom, millions of dollars. And Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero is claiming to be kind of the ultimate new fighter game. And it is multiplayer, so you can play with your friends. Usually with Dragon Ball games, it's about these giant over-the-top battles where there's like destructible environments. You kick a guy so hard he flies through the mountain, blows the mountain up into little pieces. And it's really kind of over-the-top, dramatized fighting, kind of to match with what Dragon Ball has in the anime, where the fights are always blown over the top and really kind of exaggerated to make it interesting. So giant power-ups, big giant bolts of energy flying around and ki blasts and giant blue lights everywhere and power-ups and auras and all these things, floating rocks. And so yeah, basically it's let's see, they're talking about fighting rivals makes you stronger. I mean, that may just make your fighting skills better. You can fight in the hyperbolic time chamber, basically there's a place for you to practice. And there's probably a single player campaign for it where you have to work your way through and power up and fight and train and yada, yada, yada. But it is, I don't know. I don't get excited for fighting games as much anymore. But when I do get that Dragon Ball kick where I'm like, I just want a fast paced fight, 1,000 punches a minute, big power ups. Transformations. And I mean, this has got to have some Ultra Instinct from Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a new game. It's got to have all the new...
Gotta have all the new stuff.
Yeah, all the new stuff. So, I mean, it's a Dragon Ball game.
It's a Dragon Ball game.
It's multiplayer. It's a fighter. So if you're into the fighter genre... I'd say I'm on my way out from the fighter genre. Just they don't appeal to me as much as they used to. But if you love the fighter genre, this could be for you. Sparkling Zero. There are several collector editions. This comes out in 6 weeks, October 10th. And if you buy the Zero Deluxe Edition, what do you get from the Zero Deluxe Edition? You get advanced access. You get to play 3 days early. That's a huge gimmick these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Play 3 days early.
Yeah.
Pay $400 more.
Which makes, that makes me grumpy.
Yeah.
It's a digital game, guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's actually funny because they don't really tell you what you get with the advanced access games. There's
you sometimes get cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I know on their main website
And you get 3 days more in game to get good. You know.
Yeah, on their main website, they've got some information about what you get. So the premium collector's edition, which is not available through Steam, it's only available, I think, through their official store. So it's probably locked to like the US only, which sucks being in Canada. But it comes with a steelbook, art book. Comes with a metallic bookmark with Broly and Ultra Instinct Goku. It comes with obviously the base game, whether it's for PS5, Xbox Series X, or PC. Comes with Dragon Ball card game Fusion World cards, exclusive cards only available through purchasing this edition. And what else does it come with? Oh, Seasons Pass. So you got to be careful with these Seasons Passes. Because these are basically like you buy this every season and you get access to whatever DLC we do or do not make. Kakarot did the same thing. I bought the Ultimate Edition, so I would just get all of the seasonal bonuses as I go.
Yeah.
And I think there's like the latest, newest season I don't get unless I want to pay for. So it comes with a bunch of extra stuff. You get, as a pre-order bonus, you get an early unlock playable character. So it looks like different upgrade versions of Broly, or looks like we've got a Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, which is kind of cool. And then there's your Ultimate Edition. And the Deluxe Edition seems like it's going to give you a few little extras. Deluxe Edition gives you the first season pass, 3-day early access, and that's about it. So the Seasons Pass gets you 20 additional playable characters from Dragon Ball Superhero movie and Dragon Ball Daima. I don't know if that's exciting to people or not. I haven't got into Daima yet, although I probably will because I love Dragon Ball.
One day. And
then the Ultimate Edition gets you the Seasons Pass, the Ultimate Content Ultimate Upgrade Pack. So you get the Goku Super Costume with the Power Pole, or the Nyaibo, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Then you get your different voice set for your emotes. Of course, it's a multiplayer fighting game. There's going to be unlockable emotes or purchasable emotes. You get a customization item. So I think they've got like a belt or some weird thing. I'm not sure there. And some player card backgrounds. So your player card is going to be probably how you match up in your fights and battles and what the other players see. So I don't know. I don't know if that's interesting extra content for me.
Yeah.
The Premium Collector's Edition does come with a Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero exclusive diorama, which has Broly and a Berserker Super Saiyan Broly versus the Ultra Instinct Goku, which is kind of cool. But it looks like it's kind of mid-grade as far as how collectibles go, and I've already got quite a few good ones. I'm not really excited about that, but it will be exclusive to this game, so people will probably be selling them on eBay and all over the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fighter game. It's Dragon Ball. Usually it's fun. It's pretty. The effects are cool, and there's a lot of just punching and kicking and fighting games. So if you like mindless button mashers,
there you go.
And you like Dragon Ball, this one's going to be for you.
This is it. This is what you want.
Yeah, it's not one I'm going to buy on opening day.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to wait a year before I get into it, just because the price is so high, man. It's almost $100 Canadian for the base game. The Deluxe Edition is $133. The Ultimate Edition is $146. And the Premium Collector's Edition, which I'm loading in the store right now, is 199 euros. And if I go to the Canada store, it's not even available. And that does not surprise me because Canada gets nothing. We get nothing. We get the shaft every time. The last time I got the shaft this bad was with Starfield. I really wanted the collector's edition because I have bought the collector's edition of Oblivion, Skyrim.
Yeah.
I had the collector's edition of every Bethesda game that I was into.
Yeah, the physical ones.
Physical ones. I wanted to get the collector's edition of Starfield. It came with a watch that apparently is problematic and never works properly and dies after a few months. But I wanted the stuff.
I got the Fallout 3 one in the Vault Tech lunchbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like I just wanted the stuff, man. That's all I wanted.
That's all I wanted the swag.
I wanted the swag, but I couldn't get it. They didn't offer it outside of the US.
Huh.
And one of the things I hate most about living in Canada is we used to, if you go back 10 years, 15 years, we always got the collector's editions. If they were in the States, they were here.
Yeah.
But lately, for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we're not getting any of the collector's editions in Canada. Not through GameStop, not through any of these other. So if you live in the US and you want to like order some stuff for me and comp it over the border, and I'll just pay the taxes on it, whatever. That's the way to go. And I do have a friend in the States, so if I ever want anything, I could technically get him to buy it and ship it to me. It's just annoying that I have to go through those hoops. Like, what is Canada? What kind of third world country is this that we don't even get collector's editions of video games anymore? Anyway, that's my that's my rant. That's my 4th or 5th rant for the day. So yeah, Dragon Ball, check it out. Core Keeper, check it out. And between Showa, American Story, and Worshippers of Cthulhu, I think I know the answer, but which one are you most excited for?
Most excited for Showa.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, but like I said, I love the idea of the Cult of Simia or the Cthulhu Worshippers, and I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
But like it's just a city builder with a twist. So I really think Showa American Story is going to do something cool and something new, and I'm very excited for it.
Showa's right up my alley. I love that style of game, that open world RPG.
Yeah.
I don't think I just finished saying Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 4. I'm a big open world fan. So open world sandbox, anything like that. So Showa's going to be cool. I think between all the games on here, the 2 I'm most excited for is Core Keeper and Showa American Story. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I guarantee you I will put way more hours into Showa than I probably will into Core Keeper.
Oh, I've put so many hours into Core Keeper already.
Yeah. And more when I convince you to play again on the 1.0 playthrough.
Son of a gun.
Yes, let's do it.
Son of a gun.
Together we will build a beautiful underground base.
It'll be amazing.
We'll play on hardest difficulty. Hardest difficulty.
I'm
out.
out.
No, come on.
I'm out.
Let's make it Souls-like.
I'm out.
Maybe they'll add microtransactions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in that case, I'm definitely in. I love microtransactions and all that they stand for.
Yeah.
And on that note, everybody, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Happy to have you.
Yeah, happy to have you. This has been our Load the Catapult 5-episode run, and next episode we'll get back to our regular format. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Good luck. Have fun.
Don't die. And that's our time, and the end of our episode.
But don't feel sad it's over. Be glad it happened. From the 2 of us in the basement, thanks for tuning in.
Join us next time.
And feel free to send us any feedback on our socials or send us a direct email at bfcpcontact@gmail.com.
And if you're really interested in what we're doing, join us on Patreon, where we will have loads of behind-the-scenes stuff and uncut takes as more episodes are released. Patreon.com/basements, faults, and catapults.
We're always excited to hear from you because we love engagement. We look forward to our next Catapult launch and hope you can join us for the ensuing chaos.
Good luck.
See you next time.
Let's see if we can rush to...
Oh, no. If we're going to stream Satisfactory, you better put aside a big chunk of a day. It's like a 5 to 8 hours with a lunch in between.
We'll do 4 2 hours and take like a little 20-minute break between.
I like it.
I like it.